I am fully aware of the politics that has been happening over the last couple of years with all of these women coming out as so-called secret wives. And I've been through an experience which I am fully ready to share in English. And at the time, I think me delivering the message in English wasn't aligning with my sole purpose, which allowed me to transform into what I was doing in Arabic, which was where my community and my people actually needed me. And I was very much successful. I've helped hundreds of women overcome the challenges and dilemmas that they go through in this dynamic. However, the so-called secret wife has always been the biggest problem for a lot of women in society. And I want to kind of draw the boundary and meet in the middle of secret wives, or who call themselves secret wives, to tell them that you're not alone. I am someone who has experienced similar challenges. A lot of women let a lot of their rights go when they are going to go for a married man. They let go of their rights for, for sleepovers, for the nafaqa, for being introduced to the parent, to his parents. And we are deceived by the people of religion. It tells you it's halal to lie to your wife, it's halal to do this, and it's halal to do that. And I contemplated for so many months and years trying to figure out the truth and to say, what is the right path? Do you go ahead with a married man who doesn't want to tell his wife, who doesn't want to tell his family? What do you do in this situation? Especially that you can see to a certain extent that the man that you are in a relationship with has some sense of morals and has some sense of, manners in a sense. For me personally, I'm going to be very honest, I contemplated of leaving the relationship many times before, because the lies and the manipulation and the hypocrisy that me and my partner were living in the time for us to please people, right, was not aligning with who I was. I held so much resentment, so much anger, and I couldn't just put my finger on it. But then I got an epiphany. And that epiphany was that there is no such thing as a secret wife. A marriage is a marriage, okay? You as a woman went into a dynamic where you called yourself a secret wife because you wanted specific needs to be met, okay? But then you get what we call the divine feminine awakening. You start realizing that no, this is not the life you should be living, because a true woman deserves for a man to fully provide for her, love her, and show her in front of the world. And not only that, he has to own up and stand up for himself as a man who also has rights, because bear in mind, not all men want to manipulate women. A lot of men are manipulated by their women. They are domestically abused. I have men that I am coaching currently who are in the Middle East who get beaten up by their wives. So for me, this opened a lot of doors for me to witness the truth. Now, what do we do from all this? Where do we draw the line, right? Do I go ahead and marry a man who hasn't told his wife? To what level and to what extent do I let my rights go? Do I just accept what is within? What is the rights of a woman in Islam to do with polygamy and being a second wife? And the concrete solution that I've come to is one thing. You do not choose a man based on his knowledge that he has or the money that he has. You look at the strength he holds within himself, and to what level do his words align with his actions. We went through a stage where it was not possible to say because of specific confidential reasons, but the ultimate plan was to come out. There is no such thing, I will marry you and remain a secret for the rest of my life. The only reason why something is meant to be concealed is not because you should remain in the dark. It's because someone in his family dynamic or he himself cannot hold himself accountable and speak his ultimate truth. He holds shame, he holds guilt, he holds fear. Now, it's up to you if you want to go on this journey with a man who's learning to learn a lot about himself, to discover himself, and you accompany him on that journey within the boundaries that you have as a woman within Islam. In no way should a man cross your boundaries, your rights in any way just because he could not tell his wife. Because he could not tell his wife, that is something that he has to deal with, and it takes a maximum of 2 years for him to come out. All people, I've done a survey, I've done a research, that it takes from the time you as a man get married to your second wife, without telling your first, it will take 2 years for her to find out whether it's you who tells her, whether it's your second wife who goes mental and goes and tells her, or your wife finds out by her following you or finding something on your phone. Now, I understand that in Islam, there is something called Fatrat al-Ikhtiba, which is the time where you acknowledge your weakness as a believer. You're in a weak state. So in that 2 years and in that time, you're not hiding because you want to keep it a secret forever. You are in the unseen, hidden, behind the scenes stages, because you are regaining your strength and learning everything it takes to be a real man and a real woman, to learn what it is to lead with authority, with authenticity, with love, pride, and resilience. Polygamy is not a joke. Okay? The other hand I want to speak about is the woman. You do not marry a man who's not willing to put his hand in your father's hand, assuming that one day it will all be okay. Now, I've coached women where they've been able to overcome that once they do istighfar and they realize that what the route they've taken is a walk in hell, right? So, alhamdulillah, I wasn't one of those women. My husband, I introduced him to my family. He came to my family. He asked for my hand. It went through all the procedures, but even then there was a roadblock. And it allowed me to see into the deep, dark secrets of us Muslims and where we are heading in society and in life. I want you to imagine this. All of those scholars that are telling you it's halal to lie to your wife to protect the family. It's halal to protect the home. What home are you talking about? The home that is built on a web of lies? Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّ أَوْهَنَ الْبُيُوتِ لَبَيْتِ الْعَنْكَبُوتِ. One day, that home that you're afraid of, it will come shattering to pieces. Now, shattering to pieces does not necessarily mean divorce, but what you've built, that fake persona that you've built in front of your wife and kids, will eventually will come down. You will have to put an end to it, whether they like it or not. Nuh alayhi salam, when he was building his ship, he got on the ship and the rest drowned. إنما أموالكم وأولادكم عدو لكم فاحذرهم. It's not about polygamy. It's not about multiple wives. This is about the tests that you are put in because of polygamy. Or I would say the polygamy puts you in the tests, the ultimate test that allows you to align with your higher self. You have to understand that the Prophet ﷺ did not once. Can you imagine? This is how I imagine it, right? Muhammad ﷺ goes to Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu and tell him, Ya Umar, you know Aisha is very jealous radiallahu anha, so please, I want to marry your daughter Hafsa, but I'm not going to tell Aisha. And I wouldn't be able to give your daughter her nights. I'll only come and sneak in during the day. Do you think that is what the Prophet did? If the answer is no, then don't even think ahead of going ahead and doing it. To all those men right now, okay, that are married in what we call a secret or haven't told their wives, I'm not going to tell you divorce. What I'm going to tell you, prepare yourself to greatness or for greatness. And you as a second wife, my friend, if you want to succeed in this relationship, you carry on. Because I was in your shoes one day and I did not give up. Things have come out and people are put into their place to accept it whether they like it or not. If they reject it, مَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيُؤْمِنْ وَمَنْ شَاءَ فَلْيَكْفُرْ. None of your business. You carry on. You carry on your mission. You carry on your journey. And Allah put you in this dynamic for a purpose. We're not going to keep running at women's rights. You don't need no women's rights. Islam protected your rights, and in order for you to do it the right way, you stand up and you don't be quiet. There is no such thing. Ta'at al-zawj, ta'at no, I don't know what. That's ta'at Allah wa rasulih. If the Prophet, anyone can bring me Prophet and evidence that the Prophet lied to his wives, that the Prophet played small, okay, in front of his wives. Polygamy is for real men. It's not for men who are afraid of their wives. You're afraid, it's not even that he's afraid of the wife. He's just afraid to face responsibility. And it's a natural fitrah. But what did Allah tell Musa? أقبل ولا تخف إني لا يخاف لدي المرسلون. Approach, come. Messengers are, for me, are not, and I didn't create messengers to be afraid. Now, as a man, you become the icon of leadership through your manners, your intelligence, your wisdom. It's easy to come out and to cry on social media, oh, look what this man done to me. No, if you marry this man, you collaborate. You stand by his side. Now, if you started off the relationship with letting your rights go, you signed that contract. The reason why I hold women accountable is not because they're weak, it's because they're strong, but they let their strength go. They don't even know what kind of position and power they hold within. You literally, as a Muslim woman, you don't know, you've got no idea. You're waiting for men behind the screen to tell you, to teach you your deen. How pathetic. It's so pathetic. You wait for the first wife's consent. What freaking consent? There is respect and there is understanding, there is empathy, but you must know where you stand. So if a man is not able to face, then he's not for you, my friend. He's just not for you. Because the problem with polygamy is that women, right, are making it very easy for men to do polygamy. You don't want to be with a man, you don't want to make it easy, because the power is within the second wife's hand. Because if second wives start filtering out, going through the filtration process, now less men are going to be able to do polygamy. Because if a real man wants to be with you, he will make time. Because in the beginning, my husband created time. Regardless of the challenges and the boundaries and the limitations, he still created. My huquq were all given because I set that boundary from the beginning. There were things that I was not aware of. That is true. I wasn't perfect. But I perfected them. And now I am leading with greatness, with ambition, with success. And instead of destructing homes, like what they call the home wrecker, I am the one who heals homes now. I've helped hundreds of first wives as well as second wives overcome the challenges that they are going through. And let me just make something clear, so that women don't misunderstand this. When I say you stand up for yourself, and you know your rights. I'm in no way telling you to go and abuse your partner and pressure him to tell his wife if he hasn't yet told her. Because I have a lot of women, when they awaken to this reality, they start pressuring the man to go and tell the first wife, as if the power and the consent and the huquq, or the rights, are in the first wife's hand. This is not to disrespect the first wife, but I'm speaking about it from a spiritual perspective, right? It's like, the example I like to give is like, you know, when people want women's rights, or people want, for example, a pay rise, what do they go and do? They go and protest, asking the government, we want our rights, we want women's rights. What are you doing? Your rights are not within the hands of people. Your rights, Allah has them. Therefore, there are laws that you must implement and realize and come to consciousness and awareness and interact with your intuition in order for you to be able to have access to them, so that people don't misunderstand thinking that I'm against the first wife. The first wife has all the respect, and you acknowledge her level of awareness, you try and understand her level of consciousness, right? Even if she's not willing to accept. Just imagine he's married to a Jew or a Christian. It's completely normal. We accept religions, and we accept the stages that people are at. However, now, it's your duty to embody peace, to embody collaboration, to embody acceptance, whether people accept you or not. You're not here, my friend, as a wife, as a second wife, for you to be accepted by his second, with the first or his family, and so on. You're going to start working on yourself in this dynamic. Fuel yourself with love. Get to know your partner on a deeper level. Start influencing him in a positive manner. Influence him to do good with his other wife. If he's being unjust with the first wife, you help him be just with his kids, with his wife, so that can all be a cycle that comes back to you. You're going out asking the shuyukh and all of these men who literally, a lot of them, لا يقبل منهم شهادة. You cannot take their testimony, because a lot of them do come up on social media and they accuse each other of zina. ولا تقبل لهم شهادة أبدا. In Islam, if someone accuses someone of zina, you do not take their testimony whatsoever. It doesn't matter what kind of position they are. It doesn't matter what level of knowledge they have. It does not matter. Full stop. Don't be deceived by the bid. Do not be deceived by the knowledge. Don't be deceived by the amount of followers or subscribers they have. It does not mean anything. Just like it doesn't mean, just because someone has money, it doesn't mean they're rich. It doesn't mean they're wealthy. So what is the first thing that I do? If you come to me and tell me, Hafsa, I'm a second wife, I'm a secret wife, I'll tell you the first thing that you say or you start with is that you get rid of that sick word out of your mouth. You are not a secret. You are not a secret wife. The information of the marriage is a secret from the first wife. She's the one who's in the dark, not you, my friend. The person who does not know the information is the one who has the secret kept from. Secondly, if you haven't yet told your parents, I don't know how the flip you accepted that on yourself, you need to work on your fears. You need to work on your imposter syndrome. You need to work on your insecurities. You need to heal your relationship with your parents. Why are you not telling your parents? How damaged is your relationship with your parents for you not to tell them? Are you afraid of society to say, oh my God, here's another woman who's getting divorced? You can't guarantee that you will remain in this relationship, so it's much easier for you for the marriage to remain concealed from your own family. The first step you start with is not the first wife. You start with your own family. I have a lot of women come to me, oh, my husband doesn't want to tell his wife, he doesn't want to tell his family. I ask her, did you tell your family? Did you tell your friends? She'll be like, no, I'm waiting for him to start. No, my darling, it's the one who starts. Hajar radiallahu anha, who did the hijrah first? Was it her or Ibrahim? It was her. So my darling, it's in your hands. You are the navigator. You are the motor to the system. You are the wing of the relationship. You don't know your power. You're sitting there, I'm sorry, acting like a chicken. You're not a chicken. You're not a chicken. You're much higher and better than that. So elevate. Work on yourself. Regain your strength. Because let me tell you, once you start shifting, your partner will shift with you. It's very rare that I see a woman start shifting and the man doesn't shift with her. Because bear in mind, you guys are bonding. You have sexual intercourse. You are creating something together. So that's why in the Quran it says, وَلَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ وَهُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. The fact that you are being purified and cleansed with the actions that you are doing, with the intentions that you are putting, right? You are in a state of purification, therefore automatically the man that you're with gets put in a purified state. So you start slowly, you need to, hold the man accountable. You need to come and speak to my parents with all due respect, love. This is what I need. He's going to resist and being, no, I can't, whatever. He's going to start acting like a little boy. That's okay. Don't resist. Just be like, okay, then I'm going to give you time to think about this. Give him 10 days. Tell him, stay at your place. I'm not going to see you for 10 days. You do not contact him in the 10 days. You do not have sex with him in the 10 days. You do what we call al-uzla, al-i'tizal. You separate for 10 days. And in that 10 days, you're going to work on yourself. And you're going to start writing the kind of reality you want to create and watch what happens in the 10 days. After 10 days, two things will happen. This man will either come and he would have made a decision and you'll get what you want, or he is not worthy of continuing the journey with you. He will leave with so much peace left in your heart. He will just walk out of your life. And that way you will know that he's not a man. He's just not a man. Unfortunately. The 10 days can be scary for a lot of women. It can be. Because it seems like you're going to start all over again. But I don't look at it that way. You're not going to start all over again. You're going to start from a higher level. You don't start all over again. إِنَّ لَا نُضِيعُ أَجْرَ مَنْ أَحْسَنَ عَمَلًا. Your hard work will not go to waste. You need to work on your attachment. First step is your family. His wife eventually will find out. Nothing remains a secret. Now, when his wife finds out, you're going to have to learn how to deal with bullying, with manipulation, all of that. You need to learn about all of that. You're going to have two results. Either the first wife is going to resist and she's going to try and harm you, okay? Or she may collaborate. So you have to kind of go with the flow. If you're receiving harm, there are ways of you to protect yourself from harm. Especially if you have a sole purpose and you are working on your mission in life. If you work in the law sector, we need to start creating laws within the UK that protect the well-being of children and wives in a polygamous dynamic, even if it's, or what they call it polyamory, or multiple relationships. If you work in the psychology field, you may have a lot of women through the NHS, and they make it come complaining about, oh, my polygamous, my husband, and this and this and this and this. You don't want to be that type of woman that makes women feel like as if she's a mistress, or even if she's a first wife, oh, you need to love yourself and leave him. You've got a role within this society. If you work as a teacher, if you work in the housing sector, you've got a role. And if you don't, if you're a housewife, that's still okay. You can still have positive influence on your neighbors, on your family, on your sister, if she's going through polygamy as well. Your deen is not from the men. Do your research and learn. A lot of you may know me from Speaker's Corner. When I first started, for me, that was just a stepping stone because I was still trying to discover myself and know what my soul purpose is. And here I am right now. It's my duty because I know there's a fire going on with this whole secret wife situation. It's time we heal. And it's time for us women to set boundaries and to learn. Anyone who tells you that misyar is halal is lying to you. Allah does not like oppression or corruption on himself, so how could he want it on his creation, on his ibad? It does not add up. They've lied to you telling you misyar is halal, because misyar means you get married within it's like a normal marriage, but you let your rights go. There is no such thing as you let your rights go, because the divine feminine does not accept for her rights to go. It's like you're telling someone, oh, I'm going to come down to earth, but I'm accepting to not drink water. It's a lie. You're desperate. Or you've been fed lies about the nature of marriage. So it's time to do your research, and it's time to learn the strategies how to create a new reality for yourself. If you want to know more, get in touch. I'll see you soon.